Okay, so I have you guys start by introducing yourselves for us.
Hey you guys, my name is Marissa Andrews. I am an IFBB Wellness Pro and future Wellness Olympian here in 2022. I am in the wellness category. I am 5'2" and currently weighing in at 157 pounds. Last show I got down to 133 before I carved up, and I'm aiming for 140 this time around.
How about you, Colin?
Hey guys. Hey guys, my name is Colin Brannagan, and I'm a new Classic Physique Pro, 5'11", Class C. My last stage weight was 200 pounds, and next year before my pro debut, I'm aiming to be at least 210.
Awesome. And where did you win your pro card at?
I won my pro card at Universe this year.
Okay, good deal.
Yep.
And because you had done the Junior USA? Or?
Previously, I did Junior Nats 2 weeks before.
Okay.
And then wasn't satisfied without the card, so I went to Universe and secured it.
Awesome. Good deal, man. So today you did a little chest but I'm going to have you guys talk about, I'll you both go one at a time, talk about your workout and the movements you did and what you like about each movement.
So I got to train upper body today, which was great because I don't get to do that too often. In wellness, it's really the only category for women that asymmetry is rewarded. You need to have an overly dominant, powerful lower body and then a muscular upper body, but to the same degree as bikini. It's basically a bikini upper body with women's bodybuilding legs is kind of how you think of wellness. So today was back day. We did a lot of lats. We tried to avoid anything that would make my waist bigger to give the illusion of that dominant lower body. So I did a lot of wide grip lat pull downs, seated rows with lat focus and single arm rows, but nothing too crazy, unfortunately. Oh, we are also both in dental school, and Colin is about how many months away from graduating? 6. And I am whatever 4 times 12 is. I am 4 years away from graduating. So we are both IFBB Wellness Pros and future
We're
dentists.
both wellness pros. That's awesome.
You're asymmetrical too.
I'm a little asymmetrical, I
Your
guess.
glutes could never.
That's true, actually.
Okay, well we're both IFBB Pros and future dentists.
How do you, well for both of you guys, like how do you end up bodybuilding and going into dentistry?
Go for it.
So, where to start? For getting into dentistry, my whole family has been in healthcare, from doctors to nurses, pharmacists, and the like. And I grew up wanting to work with my hands, and I felt that dentistry is a very rewarding profession, even if some people are nervous and scared to go to the dentist. It's a big need, and you can help alleviate people's pain, get to work with your hands, and there is a portion of creativity that's involved with kind of reshaping people's smiles, and it's part of their personality. It's something that you notice when someone walks in the room is their smile. So yeah, that's what got me into dentistry. What got me into bodybuilding? Well, I've always been into fitness my whole life, and I've struggled through other sports. So I tried Olympic weightlifting, I tried my hand at powerlifting, and I just kind of realized I wasn't that strong, but I was better at putting on muscle. So I think right when I graduated college, there was a few people who kept telling me, do a show, do a show, do a show. So I did my first show, which was natural. It was the Fouad Abiad show. And so I won the overall for classic and bodybuilding there, and then I went to Toronto, where I took 3rd place in both open bodybuilding and classic physique. And then yeah, just fell in love with it. So
Awesome, man. And what brought you over here? So you were raised in Canada, you were born in Canada and stuff? Or?
yeah, so I was born in Canada, and then so my mom was a nurse, and she worked over here.
Okay.
And so the commute every day, it was just easier logistically. So we moved over here when I was probably 10 years old.
Awesome, okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
I was also born in Canada.
I didn't know that, really?
Yeah.
Where are you from in Canada?
Windsor. Just
Windsor,
right
okay.
the border.
The
The
border.
It's actually quicker to get to my old house in Canada than to get to my family's house in Rochester from here.
Wow, that's crazy.
Okay, so I decided to go into dentistry a lot later in my life than I think you did. So I always wanted to go into medicine. There's a point in my life where I wanted to be an engineer. I almost went to Kettering University. There was a point in my life where I wanted to be an artist. I almost moved to Germany to animate. And my whole life, since I was this big, I wanted to grow up to be Dr. Marissa Andrews. And I have no dentists in my family. I've never really been exposed to that world other than, my normal cleanups, fillings, my normal cleanings, fillings, I don't know what cleanups are. But, and then I met him, and he was in dental school, and I actually understood what dentistry was. And dentistry is a combination of engineering, art, and doctor. That's kind of the word dentist has all three of those in there. So it was taking all three of my, physical career passions and making them into one. And then that aspect of, I find the most fulfillment in making people smile and happy and make their lives better, even if it's like a small compliment or through coaching. My favorite thing in the entire world when I coach is to see my athletes confident. If they look no different, but their smile is bigger, their confidence is there, I've done my job. Okay, that's not true. Well, they need their physique to be changed. They're not a competitor. Take that last part back. But the sentiment's there. And then also with dentistry, having those extremely happy moments. I've watched people in my family that have had poor dental care. I know people that are competitors who, when you ask them what's their, what body part is their biggest insecurity, they say their smile. They work so hard to get on stage, and they're afraid to smile. They have these amazing happy life moments, and they smile with their mouth closed. And this ability to, bring more confidence, not only cure them physically, but also be able to give them the confidence to fully enjoy the happiest moments of their life and not in the back of their mind be worried about smiling and expressing them. Kidding. And then I got into bodybuilding. I started working out my senior year of college when I was in a really dark time. Used it as therapy. I kept working out, fell in love with being active and physical. I played soccer my whole life, so being athletic was just kind of second nature. And then I started dating him once again. And he and my sister pushed me towards the stage, and I did my first show December 2020. The Mel Chansey Holiday Classic. And
How'd that go?
I got my ass kicked. I got destroyed. I got last place, but I fell in love. And I knew that I did not give my all. I didn't have a team behind me that was really giving their all. I knew I had more in me. So starting that show, I think was like December 22nd, 20th, to starting January 1st of 2021, I started my first real prep, going 100%, giving it my all. And then I stepped on stage for the second time.
Was that the Flint show?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
April 12th or 13th. Just 4 months after I got my ass kicked, won overall. 3 weeks later, I stepped on stage, earned my pro card, and then a year later, after getting my ass kicked on my first pro show, once again.
I actually like your journey because you got your ass kicked.
Yeah.
You came back, you got first.
Yeah.
And then you became a pro. Then you got your ass kicked.
Yeah.
You came back and you got first. And so it's very redeeming.
Absolutely.
And also you said that you didn't give it your all for your first prep. That is not true. I don't think your coach knew what he was doing because you kept asking to do more and he said no, it was enough. So
that is the importance of finding a really good team and finding somebody that believes in you. And that I think was a big difference. My first coach, I don't want to disrespect anyone, so I'm not going to say
maybe don't put that in there, but
No, I'm not going to say names, but it's, in theory, hypothetically, you need a coach that's going to believe in you as much, if not more, than yourself. And my second coach, his name is Robert Phil. He believed in me more than I even thought I had the potential. I only wanted, my goal when I talked to him, our first initial consult was, I want to win a regional show. He looked at me and said, you're gonna be on the Olympia stage. And I didn't believe him. And we finished my first show. He's like, you're gonna get your pro card. Didn't fully believe him. Won my pro card. And now we're sitting here a year later, and if I didn't have that team behind me, believing in me when I had no idea, I didn't know my potential, then I probably wouldn't be sitting here. If I would have stayed with the first coach who just saw me as a paycheck and let me get on stage at 150 pounds when my show weight was 133, then I would not be on the Olympia stage.
I'm working with My current coach is Phil Viz. I've been with him probably 2 years now, maybe 2.5. So far, it's been really good. It's been what I need. And actually, I that's the reason I sought Phil out, was because I knew about his personality. He's a no bullshit kind of a guy, straight to the point. And I didn't need anyone to coddle me, basically. So with him, I did a full 2-year off season. And recently we won my pro card together. So still with him. I'm going to probably take at least another year to put on some serious tissue. I was 200 pounds on stage, and my weight cap at the time was 212. That has since bumped up to 222 since I've become a pro. And so that's a huge gap to fill. So no pun intended. What was I saying? I didn't even mean to say. I didn't even mean to do that. Yeah. So yeah, that's obviously a lot of that's obviously a lot of tissue to put on. So I'm in no rush to compete again because.
Well, and you're finishing dental school, right? I mean,
yeah, I'm also at a very stressful point in, I guess, starting my career, and I know it's going to die down, and I'm going to be able to kind of put more focus back on bodybuilding after I'm done with board exams and everything. So I'm in no rush to compete. You only get one pro debut, so I want to make it really special. So.
That's awesome.
And he also has had my back, or has been,
And she's prepping for the Olympia right now too, so
And
it
in
kind of
dental
just
school.
yeah.
So
Bodybuilding's always going to be there. As long as you keep your health in check and don't eat like a jackass too much.
There you go.
yeah, I don't think I would be able to get through these next 3 months alone. So thank God. Thank God.
And who's your coach?
Chris Garunlian.
Okay.
My coach is Chris Garunlian. We've been working together probably around 9 months now. We started around the new year, so a little bit longer than that. He brought me into St. Louis. We did Pittsburgh Pro together. He is incredible. He's a great friend and an amazing coach. Doesn't take my bullshit, which is great, because I got a lot of that. So I feel like in some ways he knows me better than I know myself. There's things that I don't realize that he's keeping track of that he does. He was there present at both of my shows and was able to peak me both times, and I don't know what else. He's a very, very knowledgeable man, and he cares a lot. Every single athlete that I've talked to that's on his team, they all feel like they are his absolute favorite, whether they're an Olympian or a lifestyle athlete. They all will, one of my best friends just signed on with him, and she doesn't compete, not yet, but she still feels like her and Chris are best of friends. So he treats every single person like they are his most important athlete. I love that.
Cool.
I actually really like your coach too.
I love him.
I think he's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
And Team Ludicrous, correct?
Yeah,
Team
Ludicrous,
Ludicrous,
yeah.
yes.
Yep.
My opposing coach is Ashley. He has our trainer, I guess, is Carl. So he also does posing for the men. Ashley is our posing coach for the women on the team, and Chris is the head coach.
Cool.
Carl helped me with my posing through, at least through my first show, up to Grand Rapids. And so he helped me put together my routine, my 60-second routine. So, yeah.
Awesome. People you'd like to thank, friends, family, sponsors, whoever?
I would love to thank all of my new sponsors. Going into the Olympia has been surreal. Once again, I am fairly new in this sport, and I once again need to learn my own potential, and to have people that are supporting me and believe in me is so exciting, because it really is making this seem real. There's been days where I forget that I'm a pro, let alone now going to the Olympia, and I would love to thank GASP and Better Body, my two newest sponsors, as well as Axe and Sledge. They are all incredible and have started supporting me and welcomed me into their team and family in these last couple months. I would love to thank Phoebe Hagan and the Posing Portal for accepting me onto their team as their newest posing coach. The Shoe Fairy Angel Competition bikinis have had my back from, gosh, day one, since St. Louis. I've worn Angel Competition bikinis since St. Louis and Pittsburgh. The Shoe Fairy since my very first show. That's actually not true. I wore stripper shoes on my very first show. The platform was about this tall. But since my second show, when I got my act together.
Your second show?
My second show. Who else? What other sponsors do I have? Oh, Liquid Sunrays. I would like to thank Liquid Sunrays as well for always making me look amazing on stage, getting the color absolutely perfect. Stage Ready Hair is also and Stage Ready Hair is also incredible. Gives me the Rapunzel vibes. I don't know, who else do I work with?
I don't know, it's so hard to keep track
It is.
of all these people, you know, all these companies that just.
Everyone just wants to be my
Yeah.
friend.
I'd like to
Oh,
thank
I'd
all
like
my
to-
sponsors,
Me.
Marissa.
Well, friends and family, girlfriends,
No,
boyfriend.
yeah.
Friends.
People, yeah, for sure. You gonna say friends? You gonna name them all?
It's what?
You gonna name them all?
I said, are we friends?
Oh yeah, we're friends. People I would like to thank. I'm going to start with my first coach, Joey Flores. Joey is just an incredible guy, and he got me into the sport. He was the first guy to help me with my posing and everything, and just was hands-on all the way through. So big shout out to Joey, and then obviously Phil for helping push me to reach my potential currently today. Definitely my family for helping out, especially through prep when you can be irritable. My friends for understanding kind of the sacrifice that goes into it, not being able to go out and party and eat and drink with them during certain times of the year. Also, I'd like to thank Kitty Bikinis because you got me the first one. Didn't quite fit properly, and I DM'd them, and she made me a new one on the fly, to try and get it to me for the next show that I was doing. I think it was Junior Nats or between Junior Nats and Universe, and it was it's incredible. I love it. It's got polka dots on the inside, and
It's fun.
it's not
It's
officially
fun.
yeah it's fun. I like
He
it.
got to experience what it's like for a woman to unbox her stage bikini. He got to unbox his
My mankini.
mankini,
Yeah.
and he was very excited. It was cute.
That's great. And then also there's a ton of people like Carl helped me with my posing. Brady King, great guy. Grass-Fed Fitness, I'm currently working with him for posing as well. There's just a ton of people. I don't have as big of an Instagram following as Marissa or some other people. And I mean, if you DM me and I respond back to you, you know who you are, and you guys have always kind of had my back. And I really appreciate when people reach out and say that I motivate them. Because at the end of the day, I want other people to kind of get some stuff out of it, to kind of maybe look at our journey and see that we're doing this through professional school, and so maybe they can too.
But what was it, genetics, guys, or
Yeah, so I would say for myself, I'm more limb dominant, so quads and my arms and I guess a little bit of shoulders, I'm better at connecting with. For quads, I also grew up playing hockey, and I was a goalie, and you know how sprinters have big legs? Well, you have extra pads on, and I always wanted to beat someone when we would do suicides or whatever. I always wanted to beat a forward or a defenseman. So when we would do suicides, I would be going so hard and so fast, kind of sprinting with goalie
pads on it? Yeah.
And I mean, all the up down for butterflies and stuff, that kind of probably built my quads too. And then I mentioned earlier, I had a stint for Olympic weightlifting. You're doing a ton of cleans, jerks and stuff like that, front squats, and I mean those all definitely built my quads. So right now I'm trying to balance them out from the back a little bit, so I am taking some things out of her book to grow the glutes and the hamstrings, because those don't come as naturally to me. So
Okay.
yes.
I have the cake in the relationship. Yeah. So my legs, it would be a lot of it is definitely genetic. I feel like it was kind of the,
Yeah.
there's Two sisters, the same category, both Olympians. I feel like you gotta give some credit where credit's due. My dad wants me to make him a jean jacket that says it's all in the jeans so he can wear it to the Olympia and
Oh,
take
that's cool.
credit for both me and my sister. But I grew up playing soccer. I ran track. I was a sprinter. So everything I did was legs and quads and sprints and just building up my legs. When I started training heavy in my senior year of college, I didn't really know what to do. I just really knew I liked squatting heavy. So it would be like 6 days a week. I would go to the gym and I would just squat. And I would try to get as heavy of a squat as I could. And my form was horrible and it was not great, but literally before I started training for bodybuilding, I would do like 2 little arm exercises and then I would spend every single day of the week just blasting my legs because it made me happy.
Clearly that's genetic. Poor form squatting, squat 6 days a week. Okay, so you answered the question. She has her quads via genetics. There you go.
My glutes are genetic. My quads, okay, I'll take that back. My glutes are genetic for sure, the structure of them. I've always had large glutes. My quads definitely developed through soccer and my sports. My hamstrings developed with bodybuilding. I was looking at pictures of me when we first met, and the back of my legs are absolutely they're straight. They have a tiny little curve, but now there's actually something that hangs, and I've built that so much through bodybuilding.
I think she does more weight than me on lying hamstring curls.
My posterior chain is my
fairly
most
certain
dominant.
she does.
Yeah, my posterior chain, lower half is more dominant than my quads, for sure. I was told that I have a top 5 Olympian back pose, and I just gotta fix my posing for the front. So if I can get the front half to match the back, we're golden. If you can get his back half to match the front, unstoppable.
Well, it's
The
like
glutes, basically.
my lower front is phenomenal. My upper back is good.
I was gonna say, I don't think you had, I think
Oh no, his back is
My-
insane.
my
Yeah.
back is good.
I'm at his booty.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's like my legs from the back are bad, and my upper body from the front could be better. But yeah, I think I have good quads and a good back. So
Yeah. After both of our shows, we kind of made a deal that he was going to train me in quads and I was going to train him in glutes because together we would be unstoppable.
And if you ever have kids, they're gonna have big frickin' legs.
They're going to be little genetic freaks.
Yeah, they'll be
Yeah.
just legs with a head or something.
So
Yeah.
one piece of advice I guess I'll give people. So like when I'm helping her train, I'm not a fan of wraps. I do like sleeves though. I feel like sleeves provide a little bit of compression and like stability, whereas like wraps you can kind of get away with like loading them, and then it's kind of like a slingshot essentially. So compressing sleeves, good. Also tempo. So you want to make sure like whenever you're doing something, you don't want it to fall down onto you and then explode. Like if you're going to do leg press, you want to feel your muscles through the whole movement, control it, and then explode. You don't want to let the sled just fall down on you and then like whip it back up. Because you're taking away half of the movement from the
So like the
negative.
negative, like make sure you get a good, yeah.
And it's all in the connection too. So like if you need to warm up with leg extensions to get the muscles firing, then go for that. And then move on to like squats or whatever you want to do from there. I think volume is really important for quads, and having good ankle mobility definitely helps. And so you can, if you don't have the flexibility or the mobility, you should use shoes that have an elevated heel or put some plates underneath, and it helps you get flexion in your ankles so that kind of your knees can go. People used to say like growing up when you would learn to squat like in the weight room high school, like your knees shouldn't go forward, and that's just not true. Like your knees should move forward, you should have ankle flexion, and then you get better activation on your quads. And that's just some things that I've picked up along the way.
What is, for both of you guys, like what's your split? Like are you guys push-pull people, or how's that work? Or
I have 3 leg days a week, 2 upper body days a week, and 2 rest days a week. So I think that's going to change soon. 5 days I train, 2 days I rest.
how about you, Colin?
In the off season, Phil Viz has a very unique structure that I'm not even going to begin to explain. I basically in the off season will work out 3 days a week, and just absolutely hammered my body.
And he does your training too, though, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not
My
just
split.
your diet. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he does it all. And then when I'm prepping, it's a bro split. So it's probably 5 days in the gym, and then 5 to 6 days of cardio. Sometimes doubling up with fasted and then post-workout cardio. But yeah, in the off season, my kind of mentality is do less harder, and really recover. So more rest days. And like today, for example, with school, it's been a little bit harder for me to get in as much. So like I did a lot of upper body, and then it's going to be lower body, and then upper body. So it's a very weird split because today I did chest, back, and some shoulders. So you don't really see that too often.